In this training walkthrough, we will configure an SI L1 design in the Interconnect Architect tool from the scratch. I will guide you through the general workflow for configuring the interconnect and explain the steps along the way. Please note that this walkthrough video does not cover every available option in the tooling. Instead, it provides a high-level overview of the process. When creating a new SI L1 configuration, there are two available options. Option 1 allows you to import an existing design with the YAML configuration file. Option 2 lets you either create a blank design to configure SI L1 from scratch, or use one of the pre-configured templates as a starting point. For this walkthrough, we will select option 2 and select the blank configuration from the drop-down menu. Although we start with blank configuration, the completed design will resemble the example 1 MCN combined example configuration, which includes 2 ASNIs, 2 OMNIs, and 2 CMNIs, and 2 MCNs. Once you complete the initial setup, the Interconnect Architect window opens. By default, the domain tree browser is displayed. You can find it under HLS Domains. The toolbar provides several options. If you hover over most toolbar icons, it expands to show additional options. The interconnect is divided into 2 parts, the high-level specifications or HLS, and the microarchitecture or internal topology. The HLS describes what interconnect should do. It defines the overall behavior and requirements of the design, such as clock domains, interfaces, traffic paths, and memory maps. The microarchitecture, on the other hand, describes how the interconnect is built to meet those requirements. It defines the internal topology and the functional units that make up the design, as well as how they are connected together. To create the internal topology, users can either run NoC-SE, which automatically generates an appropriate internal topology from the HLS, or build topology manually. We recommend using NoC-SE whenever possible. If all necessary design information and requirements are provided, NoC-SE will generate a topology that meets those requirements as much as possible. In certain cases, some manual modifications might be required. The general design process begins by defining the high-level specification of your design in the HLS tabs. Next, provide the required constraints and performance targets to NoC-SE and generate the topology based on those requirements in the NoC-SE tabs. Once the topology has been generated, review it in the Canvas tab and fine-tune it if it's necessary. You can then use built-in reports to determine whether any changes are required based on the report results, as well as obtain information that will be needed later when programming the configuration registers. Finally, generate the RTL in the Build tab. The Tools tab contains several useful utilities that automate specific tasks. For example, the Analyst tools can automatically add the required components or adjust parameters in your existing topology without requiring you to rerun the NoC-SE. You can also access the Interconnect Architect documentation from the Help tab.